Hey guys, welcome back to the channel, and in today's video, I want to welcome you guys to a new series that I thought about a couple of weeks ago called What's Reddit Saying, where we're going to dive deep into the communities of Reddit and read along some of the juiciest stories. I thought this idea might be good because it will give us endless basketball content, and plus I want to read some of the juiciest stories from other people and comment and tell you guys what I think about some of these stories. So without further ado, I hope you enjoy, and let's go ahead and get into the first story. Wait, actually, but before I do, please leave a like and subscribe if you do enjoy. And I'm also reacting to these stories blindly. I have picked them out, but I've only picked out chunks that look like they're going to be good stories, but I'm kind of reacting to these blindly. I think it gives for a better, more genuine reaction. So let's see what we got. Let's head into our first one. Today's topic is going to be the stories about how people find out there is levels to this basketball shit. This first one is called My Story When I Found Out There Was Levels to This Basketball Stuff. When I was a freshman in high school, I got invited to this little basketball camp for Georgia College. We seen the campus, talked to the coaches, and even talked to some professors. After all that was done, we started to warm up. I was seeing guys go 10 for 10, 20 for 30 from three ball and shoot around. The height difference was crazy. Also, I am 5'6". So we started to do some drills like the 3-man weave and stuff like that. Those older kids were running laps around me. I had to try a little harder to even keep up with them. Then we did some scrimmages, and boy, I got lit up. I was doing my thing on offense. I was getting assists, scoring on all 3 levels in the different games we played, but one game stood out the most to me. I had to guard a 5'10" skinny white guy. I didn't know what to expect. Once the game started, they passed him the ball. First play, he pulled it from like 5 inches from the actual 3-ball line. So I played up a little higher. And just to wrap up my story, he had 20 on me. And I couldn't find an answer because I couldn't find a way to make him uncomfortable. I could be aggressive or play a shooting hand, and it didn't matter. All right, so I wonder what level this was at, because he said that it was a basketball camp for some Georgia college. Does he mean the state, or does he mean like the country Georgia? And was it like a Division II, Division I? I can't really picture the 5'10" skinny white guy that shoots like Curry. But also pulling from 5 inches from the 3-point line, like, is that actual levels to this shit, y'all? I don't know. That doesn't seem like too crazy to me. So this story, I'm gonna have to give a thumbs down, because I feel like that might just be a regular story of a guy just being a little bit better than you, but it's not like, whoa, like this guy's way out of my league. All right, so our next story is untitled. Also, a completely unrelated note, I'm so fucking excited for this new Drake album, Iceman. By the time you guys listen to this, the album would have already came out, and I just cannot wait. So for our second story, it doesn't have a title, but here it is. I have a few of these kind of stories. Probably the first real one was when I first went to university. I was a provincial team basketball player in Canada, not Ontario, Quebec, or BC, but next tier. I was a somewhat undersized small forward, but was athletic, strong, and had great touch around the rim. I got decent minutes, and I was 2-year starter on my high school team, which was always top 5 in the province. I ended up playing a guy named Willie Murdaugh. He's a South Carolina guy living in Canada, same height as me, probably 20 pounds heavier, pure muscle. He'd go half speed against all of us, even the university guys, and would absolutely dominate everyone on both sides of the ball. Over the years, I got significantly better, but he was always in another stratosphere. One time he thought he got fouled on a play, but no one called it, so he got mad and went hard for 5 possessions. It actually felt like when you were 5 years old and your dad got mad, the whole gym just shut up and tried not to make him angrier. While I knew him, he ended up playing for a local Canadian pro team, so I'd go watch a few games. One game, he was matched up against the current league player of the week. Willie held his own, but the other guy was better against what I can only assume was 100% Willie. Maybe a month later, the other guy signed a 10-day NBA contract, which was as high as he ever got. So there I was, a provincial level player in my prime, getting completely dummied by 50% of a guy who wasn't good enough to get a 10-day NBA contract. Many levels. So although yes, that's a good story for like how many levels there are to this shit, I think sometimes with 10-day contracts and things like players getting opportunities to play in the NBA, I think there's a lot of politics involved, especially in today's day in the NBA. So I wouldn't even say, okay, wait, let me rephrase this, because I was about to say I wouldn't say that the NBA has the best players on the planet, but the NBA does have the best players on the planet. It's just I feel like we're missing a part that there are some really good pro players out there in a bunch of different countries that don't get the opportunity to the NBA. So I guess what I'm saying is that the fact that this guy wasn't able to get a 10-day contract doesn't mean that he wasn't as good as this other guy. Maybe just this other guy got luckier at some point and everything worked out for him and he got offered that 10-day contract. At the end of the day, it is about work ethic and working really hard. And sometimes it is also about finding the right opportunity and finding the right person that will give you the opportunity. Always take advantage of your opportunity if you do get it at whatever level you're at. But I don't also want you to think that it's just completely impossible and it's all luck, because it's not. You do have to work really, really hard, and working really, really hard does up your chances. So yeah, okay. I give this one a thumbs up for how there's levels to this shit. Story number 3. That's sort of the point. I'm desperately trying to get across to folks both in real life and in Reddit. I really want folks to hold their heads high when they say they play ball at D2 and D3 school. Being able to play ball at any college is a badge of how talented you are. Making it to the NBA is a badge of how talented and lucky you are. I don't mean luck as opposite to hard work. I mean it as damn, you avoided so much of the setbacks that stopped others. Wow, like I said, y'all, I'm reading this blindly, and the fact that this man just said the exact same thing that I just talked about with you guys is crazy. He said it best. If you play D2, D3, or any college level, like, great job for you, although there are a lot of politics that happen in all of those colleges. Anywhere you go, there's going to be politics. Anywhere you go, there's going to be nepotism, whether it's at a job, whether it's at an opportunity for a fucking dance recital or a basketball school. There's going to be setbacks. But as this guy mentioned, I don't mean luck is opposite to hard work. Like, you have to have luck alongside with your hard work, and your hard work gives you even better luck. So it's not like these guys don't work hard for those opportunities, but some guys do work really, really hard, and unfortunately, just how the cookie crumbles, they just don't get recognized for all that hard work. Story number 4. I was 15 years old in AAU. I normally played 2 guard or maybe small forward in town league, but my AAU coach figured out I was tall, so often he would put me at power forward and sometimes small forward against more athletic AAU kids. One game, he puts me in at center. I'm like 5'11 and 145 pounds. The other center is like 6'5 and big. Tough to project the weight, but he was likely well over 100 pounds bigger. I thought, okay, he's too fat to jump, right? He scored 7 points in 1 minute, including a back down and 1 dunk. I was like, man, some 15-year-old kid who's fatter than Charles Barkley can dunk. What's going on, and what am I doing here? Okay, that's funny. I wonder what level he was playing at, or what country. It seems like probably the United States. But I wonder if this 15-year-old kid was ranked at that point. And also, I would love to know if these guys amounted to anything. And sometimes you got to take these stories with a grain of salt, because the person telling the story, you have no clue how good they actually are. And so they might be judging based off, like, you know, with their eyes of like not knowing what really good basketball is. But I'll give this one a thumbs up. That must be pretty crazy that you have a guy that's 250, 6'5", at 15 years old, which is basically like, well, I guess that's a junior in high school, right? Or no, that's a sophomore in high school. So I love how you called him fatter, but that's probably not fat if he's just scoring 7 points in a minute and dunking on you. I think that's a good comparison. And before we get into our last story, I want you guys to share the stories that you have about when you saw that there was levels to this shit. I want to hear some juicy stories about you guys' experiences on the basketball court when you like, damn, because we have a sense of pride when we go out on the basketball court, but then when somebody gets the best of us and somebody really, really humbles us and it's like, damn, am I really cut out for this? And they make you ask that. I just want to hear that from you guys' perspective. Story number 5. Definitely levels at basketball. I'm no stranger to playing against talent better than myself, but I recall playing in a rec league in one of the suburbs outside Philadelphia. The team I was on was essentially a collection of singles that didn't have their own team, so we were all paired together. Skill level on our team was comparable to one another, but enough to be competitive with most teams. The last game we played in this league was against a team that ultimately won the league. We were severely outclassed. Don't know the dude, but their best player was this guy, solid 6'10", 6'11". Someone said he played for Villanova and also played overseas. Rest of the team was ballers, and the ball movement this team would probably raise the 2014 San Antonio Spurs, raise their eyebrows. Needless to say, it was a brutal game. The Nova guy just passed. Oh my God, I thought he said he just passed, like he died. The Nova guy just passed, grabbed boards, and shot threes. Later told one of my teammates afterwards that he was doing this to get back into the swing of things. So yeah, like I said earlier, people that play overseas, like you don't have to just be in the NBA to be a professional. Like some of these guys are hidden talents that don't get that recognition. But once you see them play, you see how much in control they are with the ball. You see how much they know what they're doing. And yeah, it's kind of like this where, oh, I'm just getting back. He just says, I'm just getting back into shape. So you're not even in shape and you were just putting in work against all these guys here. And another way to tell when you have somebody that like really, really knows ball is when, first of all, they're not using that much athleticism. Like, yeah, they could be an athlete, but they're playing in like slow motion and yet they're still controlling the game. Like I've seen so many guys that a lot of the times they're not even in the play and yet they're affecting the game because of their IQ. And it's just like, whoa, where did this guy play at? Like, you already have that feeling that this guy is just like super good. And then come to find out, yeah, it's like this guy's story where I'm just getting back into shape. I'm not even in shape. I'm probably in 10% shape, actually. It's like, oh, shit. Oh, my God. I thought I was working hard. I guess not. But thank you guys for tuning in today. I hope you guys enjoyed. If you did, make sure you leave a like and subscribe. Leave down in the comments, like I said, your stories about how you found out there is levels to this shit. And yeah, let's have a conversation in the comments. Let me know if you enjoyed, and I hope to see y'all soon. Nos vemos.